the former royal known as Prince Harry finally make Meghan Markle's dreams come true? We've told you before that, of course, he seemingly has fallen short on many ventures, particularly like getting Meghan inside Windsor Castle and, of course, lording it over like the Queen that she feels she should be. But this particular project may just take off, but as ever, there's going to be another problem. Is there ever not? Neil Sean here in the heart of a windy London. I hope you're all right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Loved your comments, by the way, about your first jobs and how things are a lot easier now. I totally agree with you. I mean, I think it makes things too easy. You don't put any effort in. It's a bit like, you know, this thing, predictive text and predictive spelling and stuff like that. I still look online or get the dictionary out. Do you? I mean, I know you told me off for the spelling and I get all of that, but, you know, if I'm checking something, I think let's just have a look, you know, because you just can't trust the predictive text. That's part of the problem. I think that's part of the problem, of course, for giving away the questions ahead of an interview if you're going for a job. I'm glad you agree. It's ridiculous in my book. Back as ever to your royal story of the day. This is interesting. Prince Harry could finally be doing something right in the eyes of his wife, the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle. As we told you, she's no desire to return over here to the United Kingdom, and who can blame her with the deafening thing of boos awaiting her. But you see, she's got her eye on bigger things. Now, as we know, Meghan is very transient, you know, 40 times 40 went, the bench went, archetypes went, she can't be fagged now with a new. As we know, Meghan is very transient, you know, and it's interesting, isn't it? 40 times 40 went, the jams look like they're going to be going soon. And then, of course, we've had other things like the bench. She loses interest very quickly. The podcast, well, let's just hang that one for a moment, shall we? But where it gets interesting is this, that Prince Harry's one retaining thing that might be useful and successful for Meghan Markle is simply this. That's right, the Invictus Games. No, not the ones in Canada next year. No, the ones that could be either in Birmingham in the middle of the United Kingdom or indeed now Washington DC. Apparently Prince Harry is very keen to push it in that direction. Let me explain. I still assume that Prince Harry's a cheese at the Invictus Games, and that is a big ask at the moment, you know, because obviously it's all about whether people feel it needs a refresh, whether Harry can spare the time with all that litigation that he's got. But more importantly, of course, it's a showcase for Meghan Markle. It's her chance to pose in front of the veterans and take over and wear fashionable outfits. But as I said, there's two areas, you know, that could now host the 2027 Invictus Games, Washington DC. Now, Meghan would love this, but there's a bit of a problem. You see, for Meghan to really love this, then really what she'd really require would be the Biden administration to still be in power. The terrifying thought, apparently, for Meghan is the fact that Donald Trump, currently running to go back into the White House, could actually still be in power and, of course, reinstated as another president of the United States. She, of course, couldn't meet him when he came over to London because she didn't feel particularly well, conveniently. But what's interesting, you see, is if the Invictus Games go to Washington, DC, then the President of the United States, naturally being based there, would have to be invited to all the events. And this would then entail a meeting between the two. Now, I've been told from an excellent source who works with Harry and Meghan that they apparently don't think that this will be a problem. Make of that what you will. A problem because she doesn't mind meeting him, or a problem because he won't get in. Do you see the thing? But of course, Washington DC could actually win it because over here in the United Kingdom, the local councils, including Birmingham, have all gone bankrupt and run out of money. And it doesn't look like, unless there's a mega injection of cash independently from the Invictus Games, that they would be able to afford it. So Meghan could be riding high until, of course, the early part of next year when she'll find out if Donald, the Donald, returns. Will she be ill again? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.